And now we're moving along to a COVID-19 update from Los Angeles International Airport has been hit with at least 400 confirmed cases among transportation security administration staff, now according to the LA County Department of Public Health.
The agency announced that 233 TSA staff at LAX have tested positive for COVID-19 since an outbreak was first detected on the 9th of June this year. Both American and Southwest Airlines have been the most affected by the outbreak, according to county health officials. However, TSA officials said the county's numbers were not reflective of current infections. Our infection rate for LAX is currently being inaccurately reported by about 7 times higher than we are currently seeing in our operation. This was from a statement by a TSA official to the LA Times.
As the outbreak has not affected services or security lines at LAX, officials said 99% of travelers were able to go through security lines in less than 15 minutes. LA County is facing elevated levels of infections and a possible renewed requirement of indoor masking, as it's facing an average of about 6,600 cases a day over the last week. Now, the New York Times reports that the number of weekly deaths in Los Angeles County from the coronavirus has doubled from about 50 a month ago to 100 last week. The deaths are still below the levels of winter Omicron surge, when more than 400 were dying weekly in the county. Officials in Los Angeles say they plan to reinstate a county-wide indoor mask mandate as early as the end of this month. Barbara Ferre, the public health director in the county, said that even a slight increase in masking would help slow transmission of the virus. Meanwhile, in New York City, rates of positivity test cases and hospitalizations are all rising too. But health officials have resisted reissuing mask mandates, and many residents have said that they were not worried, counting on vaccines, immunity from prior infections, and antivirals for protection from severe illness. The city no longer has a contact tracing system in place or requires proof of vaccination to enter restaurants. Interesting policy.
You know, if you go back to the West Coast, it's not only Los Angeles or LA County, Orange County, Ventura, Riverside, and also San Bernardino are now all considered to be in the high transmission category. This is by CDC standards. The increase in COVID rates have been fueled by BA.5. And, you know, these high rates of reinfections are among those people that is fully vaccinated and also boosted. And some of them already boosted twice. Now, again, as you were saying, Marissa, the public health official could reimpose a mask mandate, not only in Los Angeles, but Orange County. And, you know, we're seeing in the last Friday, the 7-day case rate in Los Angeles County increased by 30%, with 481 cases per 100,000 people, higher than the case rate seen in February during the Omicron winter surge. So I just went back, you know, of course, we have to flew from LAX. It was funny because I've seen a lot of people not wearing masks indoor, inside the airport. Right. I would imagine if you're outside of the airport, you know, you were like talking to your families and loved ones before you departed. Okay, I understand. Right. But this is inside the airport. And, you know, you see a lot of TSA officials and whatnot, and they don't remind those people. And basically,
they're all masked up, though.
They were, but just like the travelers,
right?
Right? And you would thought that, you know, people would like ask them, or the TSA official would ask them, but it didn't. And it was just, it was mind blowing to see that people are, you know, they not kind of like they don't know what's going on right now with the Omicron surge and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it was funny because last weekend I just came back from Bali. And I was riding one of the national, you know, airplane,
Yes.
And inside the plane, there was some passengers were not wearing the mask, and I'm like,
really?
I mean,
but we have a surge too at the moment, right?
I get it, and I'm like, okay, is this just, you know, because sometimes I understand that, you know, officials or, you know, the aircrafts, you know, the stewards and whatnot, they have a lot of things to do, right? So it is our responsibility. And it's just, I was thinking, like, should I be the one? Would I be that person who would say, hey, please, like, I was like, please use your mask. I'm scared right here. But I was like thinking, is this gonna, you know, turn into a haybox because like people are kind of like rushing to sit down?
Yeah.
But there's a lot. This is like 2 families with like about 10 to 15 people.
And they were not all. They're not.
I mean, children, I understand.
Okay.
But when you're the adults, right? And this is like parents to the grandparents, and I'm like, okay. And I look at my husband, I'm like, double masking right now. You know,
Right.
that's where that's probably what I can do best.
That's the,
course.
again, that's the great thing about
dear.
masks is that, if we're worried about other people not wearing theirs, we can just wear one, or in certain cases,
Even more.
double, like you said.
Yeah.
But I've also found myself in those situations and had to tell myself there could be other reasons why people aren't wearing a mask. For example, if they sometimes have difficulty breathing,
Right.
or they're a little bit claustrophobic on airplanes. So I can understand if there's the odd person that doesn't wear the mask.
Or
Again,
they're just tired of wearing the mask.
possibly so. However, I would say it's different in Indonesia because there is a mandate to wear it indoors.
is.
We have to wear it
Yeah,
indoors
very.
unless
That's why I was
there's a good
surprised.
reason not to.
Yeah.
Whereas in the States, you mentioned that they're only thinking about reinstating that.
Yeah.
And you know how, especially Americans, they value their freedom so highly,
Absolutely.
so that, I wouldn't be surprised if a TSA official would be kind of not keen to remind somebody about the thing. You could blow back at
So-
them, like,
Yeah.
how dare you tell
Absolutely.
me to put on a mask when
Right.
it's not a mandatory.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
It's just like if you do not wear your mask, just please don't shout, because this is what it was when we were inside the aircraft. We were sitting down,
Yeah.
and the kids were like running, right?
Keep
And
the
I was like, "No, no,
conversation
no,"
to a
like,
minimum.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was at the supermarket the other day and saw a kid without a mask. I'm like, oh, it's okay, it's just a kid, because kids can't wear masks. Until the kid started coughing, and I'm like, let's get out of here.